don't miss out on your chance to win this Defender Outback Mini 2.0 from FTX. On the 27th of June, we're going to have a raffle with all the subscribers, so make sure you subscribe. Then I'm going to ship this car to the lucky winner. So subscribe and it could be you. So let's get back into today's video. Hey guys, welcome to this week's show. Today I want to talk about 3 tech tips that'll improve the performance of your TRX4 Sport. Got the car up on the bench. The first tip I want to give you guys is get rid of your bumpers. It's as simple as that. Your bumpers get hooked up on things. If you want to enter a competition, make your rig a lot more capable, get rid of this. The second tip I want to talk about is balancing. Now, this car is obviously heavy at the back because I've got a lot of plastic 3D printed stuff weighing me down at the back. So every time you swap your body and put something else on, you're going to want to rebalance your car. So don't just think, oh, that's a body is a body. A body actually makes a massive, massive difference. So let's just take off the TRX4 Sport body for a while and place a lighter weight body onto it. If I were to pick the body up, plus minus in the center, it's not falling to the back, it's just slowly tipping to the front. That's exactly where you want it to be. If I take this body off, put the TRX4 Sport body on, you'd think, there's no problem with this. The problem is we have weight, we have 3D printed parts, and we have a spare wheel. If I were to pick this up now, you would definitely see that the body tips backwards. So don't just take it for granted that every body is the same. So once you've decided which body you want to run for the day, balance your car out to get perfect performance on the trail. Now this piece of brass weighs about 50 grams. I'm just going to place it just above the bumper or the bumper setup and balance the car again, pick the car up, and you will see that now the car is balanced perfectly. So if I run the TRX4 Sport body with my 3D printed parts and my spare wheel, I always need to think of that I need to add a weight to balance the car out when I run it. Now tech tip number 3. I'm sure you've noticed that the shock absorbers become sticky. There's nothing wrong with these shocks, they're absolutely perfect. Now in the RC crawler world, a shock absorber on the inside is basically built the same way. There are a couple of differences, but don't go immediately and run out and get some new shocks, because these shocks are actually very good. They've got 30 weight in them, and after a while you just notice they become sticky. They don't want to glide as smooth as they did when you got the car. Now at the moment the shock is standard and it has 30 weight oil in it. What you want to do is change it to a 10 weight. Now the 10 weight does 2 things for you. It's got easier articulation as you're climbing over rocks, and most importantly, at high speed, it absorbs the bumps a lot better, keeping your chassis level. So let's get into balancing the car and changing the shock oil. I'm going to be placing the weight underneath the bumper setup. Now this is perfect, has maximum articulation, and I don't hear any bubbles while I'm moving it up and down. No squishy sounds. So I've completed installing all the mods. Let's take it on the trail for a test run. On a narrow path, doing a high speed run, normally what will happen, the car would start bouncing and you would start to overcompensate with the steering, and eventually the car just veers off to the left or to the right. With the 10 weight, the shocks are absorbing the rough terrain a lot better than before. So you can just do small movements, keep the car in that narrow path at full speed, and you've got full control all the way. this was all about fine-tuning the car. So you already have a good rig. There are still a few tweaks you can always do to make it a little bit better. So these three things: getting rid of bumpers so that you don't get hooked up so much, so you don't have that frustration of not being able to actually get over an obstacle because it's just stuck on the bumper. That, number one, falls away. Now, weight always plays an important part in a crawler, trying to keep the tires on the rocks at all times. So just by swapping your body, you could actually throw the balance off. So make sure you rebalance your car every time you put a new body on. Now, coming to the original TRX4 shocks, with a 10 weight in them on high speed runs, you really notice a difference. On rocks, you see that the articulation works a lot easier, and on inclines, you'll notice that the car is a lot more capable going up a steeper incline than before. So this is all about having a good rig and just fine-tuning it just that little bit more, just getting like 10% more out of your car. Okay guys, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, click a notification bell, and we'll see you guys next week. Ciao.